shout of praise. Oh, there's only one name. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout. Oh, together we sing. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout of praise. Shout of praise. Oh, there's only one name. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout. Oh, together we sing. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout.
We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout. Good morning. Today we're lifting up a shout for Canada Day. For those of you that don't know, July 1st is officially Canada Day. It's like the 4th of July in Canada. That's my American interpretation. It's not. It's its own thing. But they're actually their own country with their own history and all their own stuff. They would say 4th of July is like Canada Day. That's my thought. But happy Canada Day to all of our Canadian viewers and family and friends, including my lovely bride, who is from Canada. If you don't know, just for a fun fact on Canada Day, Kayla grew up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, on the northern shore of Lake Superior. Pretty incredible, beautiful place. And then she spent a lot of her adult life, about the last 15-ish years before she and I met and got married. She was living in Banff, Alberta, Canmore, which is a town right next to Banff, and Calgary, all kind of in the same area, right close to Banff National Park. And so it is just absolutely beautiful, beautiful location, and left all that to come hang out in Eastern Washington and marry a pastor. And that, let me tell you what, that's a sacrifice to go from the beauty of Banff National Park to Eastern Washington is a far cry, which means I think she likes me. So, hey, good news. 4 years in and she still likes me. I still love her. It's amazing. So happy Canada Day. There you go. It's sort of a Canada Day / tribute to my bride. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is day 529 in our podcast, and we are looking at our last couple that are a part of the YJJ core team. You're going to get to meet Bruce and Tammy this morning. So let me pray and get us teed up with a couple of quick reminders, and then we'll jump right in. God, we just come before you this morning and say thank you so much, as always, for your word, for your son, for your spirit, and for your people. And Lord, these last days, we've really enjoyed highlighting some of your wonderful people. And so we just thank you for them. Thank you for their faithfulness, their commitment, their using their gifts and talents to serve others, and their friendship. And so, Lord, I pray you continue to use them in amazing ways. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Before we jump into the interview, one quick reminder. Don't forget, tonight is kind of a big deal. We have coming up on the screen there. Tonight is our big family meetup. And it starts at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time and 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. You can figure out your time zone. So work off of 5:30 p.m. Pacific is when it starts, and then figure out what time it'll start in your time zone. The Zoom link to join that meeting is going to be posted all over the place. It's already gone out in our Saturday email. It's on our Facebook page. It's in our YouTube, in the post section on our YouTube channel. So I will continue to post it all over the place and make it abundantly available. As always, if you need help finding the link or getting the link, all you've got to do is shoot me an email. YourJesusJourney@gmail.com is the great way to come straight to me and just say, hey, I can't find the link. Can you just send it to me? Be glad to. So don't forget about that. Tonight's kind of unique. We do a once a month Zoom every month, the first Tuesday of the month, but tonight is unique because we're kind of turning the corner as kind of going from the mom and pop startup to official nonprofit status and budgets and salaries and income and expenses. And as we're sort of going through the growing pains, the good growing pains of growing and morphing into something a bit bigger, and our reach is growing, our opportunities are growing, and with that, we want to continue the kind of the culture of transparency and authenticity. Like, we just want to be real with everybody. So tonight's a night where we're going to kind of pull the curtain back with the family and say, here's where we're at. Here's where the money's at. Here's what's coming in. Here's what's going out. Here's what Kayla and I are making from this experience. Just to give you a little shocker, we're not getting rich, and we'll tell you exactly where we're at tonight. So we're going to go through all that. We're going to give you some updates, and then we're going to talk about some really cool vision stuff coming up, including the top secret mission that Kayla and I were on here a couple weeks ago. We're going to let the cat out of the bag. And so those of you that are on the Zoom tonight get to see it and hear it first. So you don't want to miss that one. All right, without further ado, let's get into meeting Bruce and Tammy. So let me get this teed up, and here we go. Hey, it is Bruce and Tammy. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good to see you guys.
All right. How is everybody?
I think they're excited to see you guys. That's how they are.
Yeah, be a record low viewership this time. So.
No. So before we get into introductions and all that stuff, are you guys super excited about being on camera?
No.
So excited.
No,
Yeah.
not even a little bit. It's,
A little out of our comfort zone.
There's a backstory, but we won't go into that right now. So
all right. Well, let's kick it off. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce each other, and let's talk about what's awesome about your spouse and maybe something quirky or funny that you know about them or notice about them.
Okay, well, I'm going to go first.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is my husband, Bruce. We've been married for 38 years, and he is amazingly talented at pretty much everything he touches or tries to do, whether it's fixing things, chainsaw carving, most things. Quirky, maybe, would be the fact that he's very much a perfectionist, which helps him with some of the artsy things, but it's a little bit a lot.
little over the top, is it?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And this is my lovely, adorable wife, who is my better half, so to speak. Because of my career choices and backstory, I am a glass is half empty type of guy. She is a glass is half full, so she completes me. She keeps us on track and keeps us going. She always instigates a lot of things that I drag my feet on, and it ends up turning out pretty good in terms of our vacations and trips that we've taken and things. What's quirky about her is trying to teach her to do chainsaw carving. It's been a struggle, to say the least. We'll just leave it at that. But we're still working on it and enjoying life. And I love her to death. So,
Tammy, to be fair, I can sympathize. I can understand Bruce makes it look really easy. And when you watch him, it's like, oh, I could do that. Like, you just do this and this and this. And then you pick up the chainsaw, and the chainsaw doesn't do what it does when Bruce is holding it. And it's not as easy as it looks. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
It is easy.
It is easy. Yeah. Yeah.
For you.
We might have to have that might be our new addition to the pig out. We might have to have chainsaw carving practice at the big pig out event. Everybody can take a shot at might have to sign waivers for that. I don't know if we want to give everybody chainsaws. All right, on second thought, let's keep moving with the interview. How about a little bit about your guys' faith journey? Love hearing about people's story, and particularly, is there any like kind of big turning points in your journey with Jesus, or kind of aha moments where you just really felt like things shifted or changed, maybe, or kind of a big part of your story?
You want to go first?
I, like so many others so far, was raised Catholic and went through Catholic school most of my childhood and up to high school. And we were married in the Catholic Church. And then after that, we started realizing that there was something missing. We needed to do something different. We tried out a few other churches, and I feel like there was a steady progression of growth throughout the years as we just learned more and more from the different places we went. And then the culmination really has been, I feel like there's been so much growth with YJJ, just the daily devos, and has stimulated more conversation and more researching things, in the Bible and everything. And that's where we're at. We've been Christians our whole marriage, but it's just been a growth process, I think.
And for me, I grew up in a Christian home, always going to church, doing that type of thing. Heard all the Bible stories 1,500 different times and from 500 different pastors. But it never really was a strong faith, so to speak. I never had an aha moment where I can point at one particular event that I can call my aha moment. It's been a series of events for me, watching people, watching churches, being around Christians, watching churches implode, watching people get at each other's throats over stupid stuff. And then, but in reality, all the people that we've ever been associated with, they all really believe in the core things, but they get hung up on legalistic little things here and there. And when we started with a church in Moscow called Real Life, things started changing. We then went to Israel with Thad, and with a bunch of other people. So we got to experience Israel, and things started becoming a lot more real. And before YJJ was started, then we started at a bricks and mortar church that Thad was the pastor at. And there was a year or two there that he did a thing called Jesus Time, which is kind of the precursor to the morning devos that most of you all watch, where he was going through various scriptures and stuff in a format that was similar, but it was kind of, like I said, the precursor to the morning devos, and started listening to those pretty faithfully and learning a lot. And then as things changed and the YJJ idea kicked off, we were friends with Thad and Kayla, or Thad at the time, and then Kayla later. The idea of moving it on the road and using technology was very appealing to us. And the morning devos that take place really started bringing things more to life. I was used to going to church, hearing a sermon for 30 minutes on one sentence out of the Bible, instead of hearing a passage put in context. So that's where I've been growing a lot, is just listening to the devos and holding me accountable to watch more and more. So
That's good. Yeah, for a lot of people probably don't know that some of our very first conversations about starting on the road and the ideas of doing videos and teaching and trying to marry kind of the experience we had in Israel of like going and learning on location and trying to do that in a way through video for other people and just dreaming and kicking around. A lot of those conversations were in Bruce and Tammy's front yard around the fire pit early on, dreaming about what it might look like. And it was pretty cool. And I don't think any of us at the time kicking around ideas of what maybe it could be probably had any idea that this is where we'd be a couple years later.
Yep. A lot of fun seeing it kick off, and I think it was a good idea. So
yeah, it's been good, and you guys were both super encouraging in that. Not only just as friends, just to brainstorm ideas with, but super encouraging about like, this is really cool. It's different, and I think people will like it. And so it was good to have people in our corner from the beginning when we were trying to do something pretty different that actually believed in it. So we really appreciate that. Talking about YJJ, obviously you guys have been around since before it started. Technically, we were friends before the whole idea was even born. But you guys have been, in the mix. I don't know, what stood out to you that's different since things kicked off? What things do you see maybe going in a good direction? What's changed? It'd be just fun to hear your perspective.
It's changed a lot, really. I mean, since the beginning of it all, I think. I mean, the growth has been amazing. And I mean, I know one of the goals the whole time, was to get some communities going. And boy, it really did. The communities are just amazing. All the friendships that have formed are just incredible. And seeing the growth overall with all the people, and then the different groups, all the journey groups and everything, and the friendships and the learning that's taken place with those is just awesome. I mean, just my journey group I'm in alone with my ladies. I mean, we've gotten such good friendships, and I don't know, it's really good to see all that, how it's increased tremendously.
Yeah, and I think the teaching more consistently, instead of going to church one day a week and calling ourselves Christians, the format on YJJ is to be more immersed, more relational, more involved. I may not be the smartest person on the planet, but through repetition and listening to things in context, I'm learning a lot more. And so I think that's good. I see it just gaining traction over time and continuing on. It's great to have a network of Christians around the country. When we traveled to Arizona, because of that network, Josh League was able to help me with a breakdown issue that I had out in the middle of the desert in Nevada, miles and many miles away from anything. And it's all through YJJ. If we hadn't been part of the network or part of the group, I'd have been in trouble.
Yeah, the network is amazing. I mean, think about the people we've visited. Well, so many of us have, visiting Todd and Lorinda in Oregon, and Josh and Christy in Las Vegas, and Tracy and Tim in Florida. I mean, it's just really widespread. It's awesome.
Yeah, who would have thought just about any place you could go on vacation, you have a friend there. And wouldn't have been that way years ago. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, speaking of YJJ stories and things that stick out to you, is there any any cool stories or kind of highlights for you in the last year or two being involved, just personally, that really they're kind of like, this is a really cool one?
Well,
Hmm.
aside from, I mean, I feel like the whole journey group experience has been pretty cool. Like I said, making the relationships there, but going to Quartzsite and meeting so many people face to face, and developing relationships even further there, that was really good. I mean, just the bond of the friendships that have formed has been huge.
Yeah, I think the excuse of getting out and being able to meet up, like we're going to do at the Pig Out, or maybe going to Arizona, or maybe going to somewhere in Oregon, or down to somewhere in the Midwest, or wherever things develop in the future. It's just good to keep building those relationships and that network and the bond with different folks. And I think that's important. And with the format too, we can watch the devos, so to speak, and learn from in the comfort of our bathrobe, drinking coffee in the morning. So it's pretty nice. So
in terms of kind of sharing your faith, inviting other people in to learn the Bible, follow Jesus, what was it like before YJJ, back in years before, just kind of going to church versus now? Would you say this is helping you be more active in your faith? No different? Is it easier, harder? What's the difference in your perspective?
Well, I think that can be answered with a statement that I heard you make one time, that churches don't create Christians per se. We go out and we make Christians, and then we all go to church to worship as Christians. And so kind of looking at it from that perspective, and having a consistent reminder, a consistent immersion in the Bible, in particular into chapters, and everything's in context. It allows, at least for the guys that I work with, most of them are Christians anyway, but it allows for some very interesting conversations driving down the road, going to work type thing. There may be a topic that comes up that's related to something that we just covered. And since it's fresh in my mind, it's a lot easier to talk about rather than trying to remember what a pastor said 3 Sundays ago type thing.
Yeah, and I think it's totally different with YJJ. I mean, back when we were going to church, pick any church really, I mean, I don't remember ever really trying to, maybe a little bit, but not very often, talking to somebody about coming to church or something. Whereas now it's gotten to be much more natural to invite people to YJJ, to tell them about it, and to just tell them what it's all about and try to get them interested in it. And it just seems more natural.
Nice. I recently had to go to a chiropractor that Tammi and Bruce recommended, and when I was talking with him and we were doing small talk, he asked what we do and where do we live, and so I started telling him about what we do and all this stuff, and he's like, wait a minute, I think I've heard about this. And he goes, wait a second, you're that guy. And he's like, how do I know you? Somebody told me all about this. And then he started, rehearsing to me the whole, basically giving me the YJJ sales pitch on who we are and what we do and what's cool about it. And I said, would it have been Tammi Fager? Oh yeah, that's who it was. And so it's pretty awesome. And so it's like, all right, that's cool. That's really cool. And that he locked in and was, I mean, he could already rehearse and tell you all about what you had told him. So it's pretty cool. So thinking about this ministry and just, your guys' perspective, your dreams, what's anything on your I don't know, your big wish list or your big dream list? What would you like to see in the future? What are you hoping would happen in the future? Um, Sky's the limit. What's percolating with you guys?
I would like to see more meetups, like other people have said too. I mean, if we can have more regional, more often, or spread out throughout the country, even if it's smaller meetups, just gathering people together to
Mhm.
just for the more community, I guess. And then I think somehow it'd be cool to just keep obviously the outreach going, but I was thinking about like if there was a way to reach out to specific organizations, be it whether it's like homeless shelters, prisons, whatever,
Mhm.
to get the videos in there. So groups of people who might not get any access any other way.
Prisoners aren't allowed cell phones here. So
No, but they could have a YouTube, a TV. They have TVs. I don't know. It's just a thought, just to keep the word spreading.
Yeah.
Well,
That's good.
I'd like to just see the congregation grow. I'd like to see more followers online.
Mhm.
I know there's a lot more that watch on the replay. It'd be nice to see more folks watching on the live, but not everybody's up at 6 a.m, and people do have jobs,
Mm.
that have to go to work and school and everything else. I get that, but I'd like to see it, the congregation continue to grow. I think it's a good idea. I think it's just a matter of reaching the right people and getting the traction. As we gain more followers, I think the word will spread better.
It already is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think back to the days of in fact, we were just in the car the other day and I was listening to a good old AM radio just for kicks, and came across J. Vernon McGee, which a lot of people are familiar with. Old J. Vernon McGee. He was a preacher from the South, has quite a distinct voice, and it's kind of a quirky sounding voice, very unique. And he would do a daily Bible radio show and teaching. And then he eventually wrote commentaries and did all sorts of things. But along with many other of the kind of old time radio Bible teachers, this sort of feels similar, but in a more modern context. And you just think about the impact and the reach of some of those people throughout history, and using the resources available at the time. So it'd be cool to see what God's up to and what's in store in the future. But I agree. I would like to see the reach continue to grow. The stories we're hearing, the fruit that's growing, the things that are happening in people's lives for getting in the word daily, learning the scriptures, digging into relationship. It's some pretty awesome fruit. And if it's working for a handful of regular old people like us, I bet you it'll work for some more.
Yep.
Definitely.
So
Yep.
let me put you guys on the spot a little bit. Tell us a little bit about how's this how's this changing your guys' relationship? Like since you've been involved not only with the podcast and learning the Bible, but the relationships, the friends you've made, what impact is it having on you guys in your marriage and your own relationship?
I think it's given us other things to talk about. We talk about biblical things more, as we talk about the Devo and journey groups and, the questions, that sort of thing gives us good conversations. I mean, we have good communication anyways, I'd say, but that's just a whole other layer to talk. And,
and I'm an early riser though, so I enjoy getting up to the Devos. She is not an early riser, but I'm holding her accountable because I turn up the volume and then she has to wake up. And we're changing her for the better.
Well, thanks. No, he does. He wakes me and I lay in bed and turn mine on and listen.
Well, I drink an entire coffee by
Pretty
myself.
Much, yeah.
So.
Uh-huh. I think you might not be alone in the lots of coffee and listening, laying in bed there. I think there's a few other people in that boat as well. So it's all good. It's all good. Um, well, we've got a big event coming up this fall in September. You guys were a big part of helping pull off the first annual. Last year was sort of a spontaneous, you know, thing that we a handful of us threw together and went, hey, let's try it, let's do it, and it turned out so well. It's turning into an annual event, and so the big pig out play and praise up here in North Idaho. Uh, what was it about last year? Like, why do you think it was so successful? What did you guys enjoy about it?
So many people enjoyed coming together and meeting each other. I mean, I think that was the kind of the first big meet out of anywhere really where so many people came together. And I think
Mhm.
people were really craving that community, and the food and the worship and the games and all that was just icing on the cake. And
Mm.
I think that's why it did go so well. And now so many more people have heard about it. And it's growing exponentially because of
Yep.
that.
Yep. Yeah,
Mhm.
you got Dana's pretty nervous about how much, how big a pig he's going to need to cook this year, or just what we're
I,
going to do. But he did an awesome job.
Yeah.
He's a master chef. Of course, we got Josh coming. He's a master chef, and last year we threw together that fish fry that we had at the last minute just for the second night because we thought, boy, we needed more, and cleaned out our freezer of all our walleye. So we're looking forward to doing that this year, but we're going to be better prepared with a lot more fish, and we'll feed everybody up.
Feed the 5,000.
Yep, we'll feed the 5,000. Yep, there you go.
yep. I told Dana when he asked how big of a pig, I said triplets.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure we might be looking at 2 pigs this year. I think for sure. So
It's going to be
Better too much.
last year was a 300-pounder, I think, and so it did well. But I think this year we might need to be a little bit bigger. Or have
what a
couple
terrible
Yes.
problem. What a terrible problem to have that we're rounding up more food, more fish, more stuff because there's so many more people interested in coming and rearranging their life to come and spend several days together. And it's just going to be super cool. I'm really looking forward to it.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yep.
it'll be awesome.
Yep.
For those of you that might not know yet, the event itself is at Dana and Kendall's house near Potlatch, Idaho, out in the country a bit. And then, as a part of the event, one night of the event, we actually come into Potlatch over to Bruce and Tammy's house, and there is a fish fry and a campfire, and just a super fun night. And so we mix it up and get things moving around, get people seeing different areas, different elements, different experiences, and it's going to be a good time. So we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's gonna be fun.
If you had any parting words to anybody out there that's kind of on the fence in the background, which there are many that watch and don't comment a lot, they might be getting a lot out of it, but they're not really connecting on the relationship level. You know, they're not in a journey group. They're not really chiming in, getting to know other people. They're just sort of passively watching in the background. What would you guys say to those people that are out there listening?
I would say it's worth it. It's worth the risk of commenting and chatting in the groups. I'm an introvert, and it was very painful at first. This interview is bordering on painful, but it's definitely worth it because the community and the friends you will make, and the people you will have praying for you at all times. It is so worth it.
Mhm.
I agree. Yeah, I'm terrible at wanting to get involved in stuff myself, just because of who I am and whatnot. I'd sooner sit and watch and just watch people rather than getting involved. But if I can do it, and Dana can do it, and Tammy can do it, and everybody else can do it, you can too. It's worth sticking it out and listening every day, trying to be devoted to learning, the stories in the Bible instead of hearing just a sermon on one sentence, every 7 or 8 days or whatever.
But learning with this group of people too that you
Yeah.
can interact with and discuss things with is really good too.
Yeah, that's so good. Cool. Well, hopefully that'll spur on, motivate some people to come out of the background and take a leap and make some comments and maybe even think about getting in a journey group. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's
nobody's gonna buy it's worth having people from all around the country, all around the world chiming in. So
Yep, very much. Let's land the plane with something off the wall. How about either bad job experience, funny job story, your worst place you ever worked? What pops to mind in that category? Bruce probably doesn't. Bruce probably doesn't want me to tell the story I know about his bad job experience.
Yeah, I've got quite a few funny ones. They may not be very appropriate because I was a police officer for 32 years, and you got to have a twisted sense of humor. But there are all kinds of crazy stories that happen throughout a career. Guys just got to be careful how you tell them, I guess. But the funniest one was a guy that rear-ended a parked car in the middle of the night. He was DUI, and I catch him driving down the road. His hood's all smashed up, radiators leaking, that kind of stuff. Pull him over, and he's trying his darndest to act as sober as he would be going to church. I mean, this guy was yes sir, no sir, trying to act polite, and the windshield's busted, the airbags are laying in his lap. Jeez. And I'm talking to him, and he's still acting like, well, if I'm just cool enough, maybe he won't notice. And then he looks at, or then I keep seeing these red and yellow streaks of color all over the airbag and on the inside of the door and a little bit on his face. And I'm looking at him and looking around, and he's just really trying to act nonchalant, like nothing happened. And he kind of tips his head back a little bit, and I can see the hamburger bun and hamburger meat stuffed up his nose. He basically was taking a bite of a hamburger when he rear-ended the car and got force-fed the hamburger at 200 miles an hour by the airbag. And he thought I wouldn't notice. But, I was laughing so hard somebody else had to actually do the field sobriety on him. So.
Oh,
anyway.
I think my worst job would be when I was a cook at a sorority. Kendall Lee and I worked together at a sorority.
Really?
And yes, we alternated days cooking for these rotten girls. And they were the most spoiled, entitled bunch of humans. Anyways, we were constantly having to make their special wishes, from vegan to non-fat to non-dairy to whatever, pick your specialty, for 80 girls every day. Wow. 2 meals a day. So yeah, that would be my worst job, I think.
Wow, that's okay. And I didn't know you guys have known each other that long. That's pretty cool. Nice.
We've known each other for like
a long time.
Yeah, probably 35 years.
Oh wow. Nice. That's clear back before I was born.
Yeah, right.
Not quite. Not quite. All right. We should probably wind it down and let you guys go and get everybody else off and on their way. Thanks a ton for taking the time. Thanks for sharing your lives, your friendship. Thanks for all of the effort and energy behind the scenes and the encouragement. Kayla and I really appreciate you. And I know the rest of the folks in the ministry really love you guys and appreciate you. So thanks for everything. And as always, we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
for all you do.
We appreciate it.
All right. Nice job, guys. Great interview with them. Hope you guys enjoyed getting to know them a little bit and seeing them squirm, being a little bit uncomfortable. That is not their comfort zone. Some people don't mind being in front of the camera and, being put on the spot. Other people, it is one of their least favorite things to do in the world. So, and we're good friends. So I enjoyed putting them on the spot. It was kind of fun. Glad you guys tuned in this morning. And enjoyed those stories. I love getting to be in the chat and seeing you guys going on in there and the different things that are sticking out to you in the comments going on. It's super fun. So I appreciate it. Hey, just a quick heads up of what we've got coming. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So we're going to do our Wednesday word of the week segment. So we're going to be digging into a cool word tomorrow morning. And then Thursday, we kick off a new series, Back in the Bible. And I'm going to announce the new book, and what we're doing, what book is coming next is going to get announced at the Zoom tonight. So I'm just baiting the hook. I mean, you've got budget stuff, money stuff. You've got reach, big vision stuff. We're letting the cat out of the bag on our big top secret mission tonight on the Zoom. We're going to talk about what the next Bible book coming up is. That's going to be on the Zoom tonight. And I do want to mention in the chat, there was a lot of conversation when they were talking about going to Israel. There was a lot of people chatting about how much they would love to go to Israel. And it's a very common thing. Most Christians, I think anybody that loves the Lord and reads their Bible would love to go to Israel. And it's something that is usually not an easy thing to do. It's a long ways away from America. So it's expensive. It takes quite a bit of time and time off of work to get there. And then also, different people are uncomfortable with different problems going on in the Middle East at different times, particularly right now. It's pretty heated. And so as much as people want to go to Israel, there's a lot of reasons why it's hard to get there or why people are uncomfortable to go there. And so we've got something in the works to offer a alternative to give people an Israel-like experience. And we're going to unpack that a bit tonight too. It's brand new. Excuse me. It's brand new. It is in the works, but you're going to hear the first glimpse of a really cool dream. And that's part of the Zoom tonight as well. So let's wrap it up and get you guys off and Excuse me. Goodness. Let me just pray for you guys. Pray for me so I can breathe, and we'll see you tomorrow and see you tonight. So let me pray. God, thanks so much for your word as always. Thanks for your family and for your faithfulness to us. I pray you would continue to protect and provide for the people on the core team, for the people in our community, and continue to draw us to people that we don't even know yet that need what's going on here as a part of this ministry. So Lord, we love you and we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, gang, that's what we got this morning. Let me get some tunes going, get your comments coming up on screen, give some shout outs and throw some love to Bruce and Tammy. I'll put them up on the screen. Here you go.
We lift up a shout of praise. Let the anthem rise up, let the song ring out, let the ground now tremble as we raise a shout. Let the anthem rise up, let the song ring out, and let the ground now tremble as we raise a shout. Oh, there's only one name. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout. Oh, together we sing. We lift up a shout. We lift up a shout.